We are live as well on
Hello.
both platforms. Hello.
Hello everyone. I think that people who were waiting here, they just lost it maybe.
They lost it, but they will receive another notification.
Okay, that's cool.
Because they're subscribed.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Ardak from ZenART Supplies, and today we're going to paint some watercolor portrait. I'll try to show you what's the easiest way to do it, and so I didn't paint it for quite a long time with watercolors, so we'll do it together. And because it was Mother's Day just yesterday, and I wanted to paint my mom, so I checked for some reference photos because my mom is not here; she's in Kazakhstan, so that's why I made some kind of just few. I selected few photos. This is not such a high quality photo, but it has a nice daylight. So when you are selecting your photos, try to select a photo without any kind of flash light, because it completely just like removes all the shadows properly, so the skin looks very much unnatural, I would say. Yeah. So I selected these three photos. This one is with the teeth. Probably I would also not do painting the portrait with the teeth as well, so it's usually considered to be a bad tone. But so let's try to do something maybe with the hat here, or this one with the winter hat. So these are all photos when she was coming here to visit us in London. So I'm just thinking which one to select. So this is from the yeah, this one is also quite nice. I could just change the mouth without, just to do it without any teeth. Probably that's what I would choose. So just to have her with her hair. Because this one is my favorite, but it's very low quality. I don't know where are the high quality photos on this photo. So which one should I select?
I like the one in blue shirt.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best probably. Also in terms of the light but I'll just close the mouth. So I'll do the smile like on this photo, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's start. We can start with some little sketch. So this photo I already just sort of cropped. So, but anyway, it's always better to try to do the drawing, some sort of rough sketch in your sketchbook. So I'm using my ZenART Supplies sketch of B5 size, and it's really perfect size because of the aspect ratio. So the length to the width, it's really perfect for the watercolor or any painting, because it's really very nice. It's not too narrow, I would say. So when you do the drawings, the best way to do it is when you see your paper vertically, so not or under some angle, not completely flat. But for this video I'll be doing it flat so that you could see it as well. But I would suggest that you would use some kind of some support or some little easel or something. I don't know, just like table easel like this, for example. Just otherwise there will be some kind of distortions, because it's always like that. When you draw this way, you see it under some kind of angle, so it will distort. And when you look normally look, you'll see that it's different. That's why all the portraits usually they're painted more kind of with a vertical kind of angle. So that's why I will do a little bit of this sort of. I'll support my sketchbook with my other hand, and I'll make some very simple sketch. So just to to see where the what I want to include. And so you can also use your pencil for understanding the axis of the face. And in general, for drawing portraits, I would suggest all the Russian speakers, for example, this book by Anastasia Shimshilashvili. So it's about how to draw a portrait from A to Z, and she is my teacher as well, and she's our brand ambassador. So she's really a multi-award winning artist with the best kind of academic education, and she also created her own a method of teaching how to draw from A to Z, so from zero to portraits. And so she has this Art Shima book. We printed this first edition in Russian together, so you can see that it's printed with support of ZenART Supplies. But it's really a brilliant book, and that's why we're planning to print this book in English as well. So very soon you'll see that will be also we'll let you know that when the book will be in English as well. So it's really must-have kind of book for anyone who's learning how to draw, and also painting. So she teaches painting of in any kind of medium, but the drawing, it's really very kind of fundamental skill that anyone should know how to do. So if you're a Russian speaker, please, we will also put the website drawingatoz.com in the description, so you can order it, and we'll send it from our warehouse in London, or if you live in Europe or North America, this book also is available on Amazon. So this is what I would recommend to anyone who is learning how to draw. I'm not so great like Anastasia, but I'm really learning. So I'm improving my skills constantly. So it's the portrait drawing, it's always just like it's a pinnacle of career of any kind of artist. So you, in general, we also have some articles on our website, so you can always see a very nice article by our artist in-house, Kathleen, and she made some kind of nice overview of this structured kind of way how to draw the portrait as well, and how to paint it as well. So we did it together with her, the painting, because I did the oil mixing kind of side, and she did the step by step as well. So you should always just check our website, web blog, and it's in the Toolkit section. So you can also see from there as well. So what Anastasia teaches is that there are these three main proportions that so your nose, so up to your nose, and the forehead. So these are usually exactly the same kind of length, and it's quite easy to measure your kind of your face. So this way you can always create this kind of main proportions. Also the ears, they're always the same kind of length as your nose, and they always just like have the same kind of angle as well. So these are quite simple kind of explanations, but they're very useful. So I'm just looking at the main so darkest and lightest kind of areas of my mom's face, and so the main shape. So I'm just putting more or less kind of this proportions of your nose and the width of your mouth. It's always in the middle of your eye, so it's just like, oops, yeah, it's falling down. Thank you. So this way you'll also know where is what are the main kind of. So then there is this eye socket as well, so that you should look at where are the shadows, and the biggest shadows are usually under the eyes and under your mouth, under your nose, so it's under all the main kind of areas where the light sort of touches on the top and it covers. And so this way I'm just like making the drawings, so it's in Nasty's book she explains quite well the human anatomy as well, so it's the way how you draw people's nose, how you draw the mouth and everything. So it's just like but it's more for the artist, so it's not medical kind of. She doesn't use so many medical terms. So here you should really understand what are the main kind of areas with shadows, and so usually I'll just, that's the most kind of important thing what you're doing right now. It's not not drawing the eyes or something, so it's just like really to see where are the shadows and the lights, and making the main kind of adjustments. And so here you can so the eyes are always much darker than the forehead, for example, or the nose, and so this is going to be so try to look at the shape of the eyes as well, so how the eye what kind of what is the shape of the eyelids, so how do they go, so are they inside or are they going or are they covering the eyelashes area, sort of. So I don't know, just like when you do sketch, you really just like try to study the face and where are the main kind of areas of light and shade. So my mom's eyes are quite deep, and to show it, you really need to show it with all this kind of with the shadows. So maybe the nose should go a little bit down. That's how I see it. So check the shape of the nostrils, where it is. So all these lights and shadows, they show the shapes. So sometimes you don't even need to so these are the ears. They're mostly covered by the hair, so I'll just make the main shape of the hair. She doesn't look like this so much, but anyway, I'm just not trying to make her kind of exact portrait right now, but I'm just trying to see what are the main proportions of the lights and shadows kind of areas. So my mom's eyes, they go down a bit here on the and this is the main kind of what I'm trying to see is the shape of her face, and because when you draw it here, it will be much easier to draw it on the paper as well, because it's much, you already kind of absorbed everything, and so.
And as usual, guys, let us know if you are new to watercolor portraits, your questions, if you have any.
So now yes, please let me know, because it will be interesting to understand. Have you ever painted it, or it will be your first attempt? Because it's really fascinating to draw people, because but also don't be shy, because you really need to practice, because it really helps a lot to practice. So by making this kind of shape of the eye sockets, I already kind of created the area where is the eye, and where are these kind of eyelids, eyeballs. So you can see that it's here. The eyeballs, where are these eyebrow kind of the bones themselves. So it's much easier to draw this way if you know the main kind of anatomic, if you can see them. And so you should really just like draw and paint the shadows and the light, and that's why it's quite important that on the photo, for example, of course, it's the best approach is to do it from the real kind of from observation, but because I don't have my mom here, that's why I cannot paint her observing. But I know that she doesn't look like this, but could be.
I think she does, definitely the nose and even the eyes.
I will try to do more kind of accurately on the on this drawing, on this on watercolors, but here I'm really just like trying to maybe just a little bit. Let's go go ahead because it's quite important. So it's a bit, it doesn't look like her, but it's anyway, we can also look at the full composition as well, because this way, so you should so just remember that this is a sketch, that's why don't spend too much time on it. Right now you're just learning, you're observing and you're learning a lot, because that's the sketching is for. Because when you'll be doing it on the paper already, so it will be much more kind of easy for you to see.
Just want to show that Ardak has got her reference here. That's what she's observing right now.
So that will be the. If you wanted to make it easier, just like remove the scarf and try to use something else. But I think it's also additional complexity of this scarf, of the floor. So just like it will teach you how to draw the or paint the drapings or the different materials as well.
So Kelly says, this looks great. Portraits are hard for me usually.
Yeah, you should just practice it. It's not so great, believe me. But the most important is the practice. So don't be discouraged by not getting the same result, because that's the most important. Sometimes I'm very harsh to myself, and I know that everybody are like this, because we have this inner critic that is always just like says, it's not good enough. But just try not to listen to it. I know that I listen sometimes, but I don't care what I say, because I know that it's a learning process. You should always look at it as at the learning process. This way you'll just progress. Otherwise, if you'll stop at the very beginning, you'll never be able to do anything. So
yeah, lots of hearts you're receiving
right
now.
Oh, thank you. So when I put it a little bit more like this, it's much easier for me to see and to compare, because when I put it like this, I don't see it all. Or I should just sit like that, and it's still you don't see so much. So the best way it's really so to step aside and to look at it like this, and you'll see immediately what's wrong, what's going on. So that's why many artists they always just like try to paint, to draw at the easel so that they can just move around. So that's it's from my Petrice. Maybe you can show my portrait that I'm painting. It's still at the very beginning, kind of this. I've been changing it, but
I'll show to the Instagram in a second, because it happened the same stuff with the temperature. So we are only on YouTube for
really? Oh no.
the last 30 seconds, yeah.
Oh. So what's up with this temperature?
iPhone needs to cool down before you can use it, like what's happening with your phone.
Yeah, it's... So also Anastasia Shima, she also tells that don't use the eraser when you draw. So just try to try to observe and make all these kind of changes while you on top of the what you already put, because this way you'll not put again this kind of the same incorrect kind of not incorrect, but let's see. So you should first make adjustment, and then you can already kind of, and then you can change it. So I think that this is probably it's probably good for me right now, because I can start from this making the painting. So she is mostly, I'm looking at also at some other kind of references, but the hair is not correct, but I'll try to do it slightly different. So
yeah, so to someone who joined now is asking if that's your mom that you're painting.
yeah, this is our kind of our Mother's Day sort of follow-up. So you can always make some little gift, you know, by painting or drawing your mom as well, because and usually you know so well this face, you know, your face or your mom's face. Usually that's the two faces that you definitely know, everyone knows, and it will be always a nice gift, you know. And it's,
She looks just like you, they're saying.
ah, really? Thank you.
Maybe I can show the reference to Instagram.
Ah, yeah, I'm just using different references. They all
Here you go.
don't look exactly the same, but anyway. So her face is a bit longer usually, so that's what I'll try to show as well. But here the proportion of the head is the head is too small, I think, because usually I would make it a bit longer and like this. But it's good for beginning, for start. So I'll do other kind of sketches of my mom, but especially when she comes here, I'll do some sketches of her, hopefully. So try to, if you live close to your mom, just go and try to make a sketch from really directly from the person, and I'm sure that your mom will be happy to pose for you, to sit for you.
Judy says I can never draw faces, so
yeah, you should try, because it's always a good practice. Start with sketches, because this is quite easy. If you don't like them, just don't show them to anyone. It's just for you, because it's be kind to yourself. Just take it easy and take it as a learning kind of process, and that's it. Don't think that it will be perfect since the beginning, but just be very much kind of observant and think it as first steps. Like babies, they never walk since day one, so they fall down 1,000 times probably, if not more, and then, but they never give up. So yeah, it's a good kind of it's a good lesson to do. So it's a good kind of I don't know, just try, especially if you never done it. You should always try.
Another comment here, Ardak,
Uh-huh.
that's so sweet. My mom is silly, and even though she's turning 80, she wouldn't want me to make her look old.
Well, do some young.
Maybe I paint her in younger mother days,
Yeah.
but I think she's beautiful,
Oh,
young
yeah.
and old.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
That's a very nice comment.
Our moms, they're always the most beautiful women in the world. Yeah. And we're the most beautiful for them. The most talented, the most beautiful, the amazing people. They are really uh, our support, in every step of our life, since when we were little babies. I think it's really quite. It's such a, I don't know, it's a blessing to become a mother, and I think all moms, they know it, and they really love us. They love us even more than we love them, I think. And in my language there is a saying in Kazakh language that a person is always a child as long as his mother is alive. So we'll be always a child, and we'll always do some kind of silly, childish kind of things to our moms, whatever is the age, because it's really, that's our role with them, because we all play different roles, and we can be this kind of children only with our moms and dads, of course, but I think with moms even more, because it's just my dad has already passed away. That's why I still can be childish with my mom. But they always were quite supportive, and really appreciate it. So try to make some kind of little sketch, because you already done it. And for here you should remove some kind of lines, not to make it too dark, because with watercolors you want to try to keep the paper quite clean. And here I'm not using this kind of eraser, but so don't use this type of eraser. This is my eraser for children. So we use it for homework, but I use this kneaded eraser, so it's kneaded rubber eraser. But Anastasia, so I was mentioning, so if you haven't seen this book that I was showing, she's Anastasia Shimshilashvili, so her nick is Art Shima, so you can find her on our also on our blog. There is a very nice kind of article about her, Art Shima, with some of her works. So she's multi-award winner. She's a very brilliant artist, and she teaches a lot. So she paints since she was 7 years old, I think, and she paints really on a very serious kind of level. And she teaches as well, so she's a brilliant teacher. And this book, we published it in Russian, because it was, she already wrote it in Russian, and now we are already preparing the English version. So we will also announce about this, because it's really, I also learned from her, so she's my teacher. And she's such a brilliant person, and the way how she explains it, it really makes immediately a lot of sense, lots of things. So she really explains things very, very easily, and you can see her works. So these are the works from the book, and it's really fantastic. So soon this book will be available in English, and it will really open eyes to all this anatomy and to portrait drawing. Even she starts with different. This is herself. So the book, full book, it's all. It includes only her drawings. So her drawings and paintings, and there are over 200 drawings and artworks here. So she explains how to draw different parts of the portrait. She then shows everything from the very beginning, even how to tone the book. What's the difference between the between different pencils, and how to experiment. For example, this is a drawing, her drawing with some golden paint as well. So it's really very, very cool. Look at this, so beautiful. And she really explains everything. So even about the products and how to hatch, how to draw different textures and different. She explains about different. I don't know everything. So she explains from the very beginning to very end, and she uses also quite simple objects like eggs, the pillow, and other kind of things, and the glass and metal, because these are all textures that you can also find in the in portrait as well. So you can see every single line, so you can really learn a lot following her method. And this is sketching, so she always puts a lot of kind of emphasis on sketching. And sketching, without sketching you cannot paint, you cannot draw. So she always and this is a portrait, of course. She explains how to draw different ages, so from children to people in older age, and of different topics like composition. This is all her paintings as well. So I just wanted to show you because we're already starting to work on the English version, and it will be a really fantastic book. So
lots of hearts also came in.
So everyone who don't know how to draw, don't worry, we're bringing this really fantastic book that will teach you how to draw since the from beginning to portrait. So that's also our mission, to bring the talents to from different countries, from different even languages, and bring them together. And so let's go back to my mom. Otherwise we'll never finish it. And so Nastya always teaches to do it from not from one eye, for example, like sometimes you can see, but you should really make the work from large forms, so from the areas of dark and light. So I'm just trying to make this the shape of your nose, and so because I already did my sketch, I know more or less where is her. So when you do this kind of eye sockets, it will allow you to position the eyebrows, the nose, everything in the correct places. So that's why I'm making this big kind of, how to say, glasses. Yeah, because they look a bit funny, but it's really. And when you have this big kind of shapes, you can see immediately where are the eyes, for example, so you can immediately So, and you can see that some of your the features of the eyes, of the nose, you can really just see from this kind of big portions of the face. So it's the eyes, they are more or less in the middle of this kind of eye socket, because it's where they are. If you look at the, you can also look at yourself and just like try to figure out by touching your face where each kind of part of the face could be, because if you're not sure about something, just touch your face. So I'm just trying to make some of these main kind of features of the, she has very high kind of forehead, and the hair, they grow quite like this, I think. So they go around here. Cheekbones, she has high cheekbones, so I have really her bone structure, I'd say, with some influence of my grandmother as well, from my paternal side. That's why my mouth is definitely of my grandmother. She's always smiling a lot. No, so try to look like this as well. So don't, as I was telling since the beginning, don't draw completely horizontally. I'm doing it because of the video. Otherwise, I would even put it like this on the almost vertically on some kind of little easel.
Almost like a reference photo, yeah?
Yes, yes, exactly, in this kind of with this with the same kind of angle, because this way your eyes, they perceive much better kind of. And I was telling before that always try to do more kind of draw and paint from observation. This way you will learn a lot, because with the photo you cannot see quite a lot of things from the photo.
That's good. Andix creates. Yesterday I was thinking about what colors to mix to achieve skin tone. So this live is right on point.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So yeah, now I'll start painting probably. I'll just make some kind of. So in portrait, of course, the drawing is quite important, because you're trying to create some similarity. Of course, can be a portrait of. Yeah, portrait should be a bit more kind of similar to the person who you're drawing or painting, but while you're learning, don't worry. Just don't draw someone who doesn't understand humor. Or just tell in advance that you're learning. I think in general people will be quite proud that you asked even just to sit for them, but of course avoid people who are too much pretentious, maybe. there was a joke that I heard somewhere. So if you want to lose a friend, make his portrait, his or her. But it's just a joke, of course. I think this is much better than this because I mean in similarity, because I did this already before. That's why I observed already lots of things. Now I can draw much more kind of accurately. So because I saw on my
I think they like to hear joke.
you like
Seems so.
Did you try it? So that's why your mom is quite safe. She'll not get upset. I'm joking. So yeah, in general, the portraits should flutter a bit maybe, but maybe can also be more kind of psychological portraits like Lucian Freud. So you can always say that it's a psychological portrait. Just for, oh, he was really such a genius, but his portraits are not flattering. So you can also avoid this draping maybe if you feel not so much confident, but I think it's always good to learn. And one of the most important kind of suggestion that all the artists they give is really to do these sketches every day. So even you can sketch yourself, you can sketch your feet, you can sketch your hand, whatever you're not confident with. You can sketch. If you're bored, sketch something that is in front of you. So from all the art teachers that I had, they always say sketch every day. And it's not something that I do. And every time I have this kind of long time between this kind of drawing or sketching. If I don't sketch at all, I just like completely lose all this the skill, you know. It's if you want to learn to draw, you should sketch. You can start from sketches, and can sketch on any page, on any type of paper. So it doesn't need to be a sketchbook, but if you want to keep some kind of record of your progress or just you want to look back, yeah, sketchbook is perfect, really. Lots of artists, they also make videos as well. Our other brand ambassador, a very talented artist, Aina. So she's Aina Paisley. So she has amazing sketchbooks. So she published again this reel on her Instagram, showing her old sketchbooks, and it's really so beautiful. So you can also put the dates when you were sketching it, so that you would know when it was. But you can also just like yeah, you can also sketch on any kind of paper, on the little napkin, or on a menu. If at the restaurant they have this kind of paper menus, it's really cool because this way you get back home with some sketches as well. So I think that's pretty much it is drawing. So I'm not so good in painting immediately portraits without sketches, and it's also quite nice kind of quite good exercise. So now I'll start doing this. So yeah, you don't need to put all these wrinkles either, but I'm putting it a little bit just to because these smiling wrinkles are they're quite nice, you know. They show that the person likes to smile. The wrinkles between the eyebrows, I would skip it. But this kind of wrinkles, this on the eyes, it gives some kind of more cute kind of cuteness to the face, I think. I don't know. So now just let's remove some of this graphite, and we can do very lightly. You can roll it around like this. If you want, you can keep it as it is, because usually for many techniques it's better not to show the pencil drawing. Maybe it was too much. Yeah, this is too much. So, but in watercolors it's allowed to show the pencil drawing, and it's also you can also not care about this. So it's yeah, so it's like that. I think she looks like my mom now. That other woman didn't look so much like my mom, but this one does look. So I can show closer. Maybe I'll show here as well. So this is my mom's reference. Here is her other references, and here is the. Yeah, she looks like my mom. So here is for Instagram. Can you see it?
Yes.
So, and I'll show you also the drawing. So can you see the drawing fully? I can show you here as well. So you saw a nice drawing. Now it will be all ruined. But it's a joke. So for that painting, we can use our. Let me take some paper. So it's quite important to have this kind of tissue. Yeah, thank you. I'm also quite pleased with this drawing, because she really looks like my mom. She has quite long face like me. This oval face. And now we'll need our brushes. So I have this ZenART Supplies different type of brushes. So mostly it's our synthetic brushes from the Black Tulip series, and also I'm going to use some of the sorry, it's a Black Tulip. I'll use this brush. I don't know, I'm just keeping the same brushes on my desk, and that's why I have the same brushes. Next time I'll take Turner collection. So I'll tell you the truth, I'm using the returns. So sometimes people return that some brushes, saying that there is something wrong with some of them, but I use them. So they end up on my desk. So I use the return brushes, because I don't know, I know how to use them maybe. So I don't know what's wrong with them, because I find them fine. So these are all brushes that I might use. Yeah, these are the fine line brushes. So for very much fine details at the very end, we'll be using these fine line brushes. And let's take our Allegro series probably, because I'm intentionally using our new aspiring artist watercolors, because I have lots of watercolors of professional kind of quality, but there's The idea is just to show that you can also use the aspiring artist watercolors and get a very good result as well. So the paper is very important, just in case if there will be some kind of unexpected and how it's undesirable kind of splashes or something, I don't know. So you can always just like dab it and immediately you get rid of this problem. So for the watercolor, you should put something underneath so that there will be a bit of gravity, so that the water will not be collecting in some puddles, you know, because when you do some, I don't know, some flowers or something abstract, it's fine, you know, you can keep puddles even, but better of course not to have them maybe. So but when you're trying to paint the portrait, better to keep it flowing, so if there is anything, just like any extra water, it will flow down and there will be very nice and clean washes. So we can start now. So I also will be using some little piece of paper for checking the color kind of don't know what is it. It's here. Let me take this paper, so it's exactly the same paper that you are using. It's always good to have some kind of cutouts of some paper that you're using, so you can test the color mix that you made on that paper, and it will be always it's especially for portraits, because you're trying to do something more kind of precise and you don't want any splashes or any kind of color that shouldn't be there, for example, I don't know. So there is always this some kind of trick to use a paper that you don't need, for example. So you can also use the back of the paper that you painted on. So for example, on the back of this beautiful ginkgo
that we painted last week.
Yeah.
So we put the link also to
last
this
week.
video.
Yeah. So if you like it, you can paint it. It's very easy, very easy. And I just added few more leaves after life. So you can use the back of the paper, and because I'm not going to make some puddles and washes, it will be safe even for this painting as well. Yes, I'm like that. I'm a bit stingy. No, it's not stingy. I don't have other paper, so I'm just... So you will need two buckets of water. So I'm using just normal jam jars, so like this, and one will be for your dirty water, and second one will be for clean water. So you'll clean your brush in one jar, and if you need some clean kind of water, you'll use the other jar. So first let's clean your paper so that it doesn't have any kind of strange stuff on it. And I'm using my round brush from the Turner collection. This was also some return probably. That's why it's a single brush here. So now you can also just like practice on some kind of paper like that. So it's exactly the same paper. That's important because you want to see how the paint kind of color mix will look on different kind of, on the same paper, not on a different paper. And for example, raw sienna looks quite it's raw sienna, I'm right. So there are these color swatches as well. You can see which color you can use for different kind of purposes, and of course we'll be doing some color mixes, but also You can also use some colors directly, because raw sienna, for example, it's one of the paints that you can use directly as a for the underpainting. So, because my mom's skin is a bit dark, it's not pale, so we'll cover it completely, because even her eyes, they get this kind of dark shade. So I do it very quickly, not like me. And this splash guard actually you can use as a this kind of palette as well. So this is something that I wanted to show you, because there is a little kind of palette with mixing areas for each brush set, but you can always use this little splash guard as well, because it's really nice. And yes, and as you can see, with this just a raw sienna, for example, you can already put main kind of color under the hair as well, like this, and on the neck as well. So now let's add a bit of burnt sienna as well. So burnt sienna, it's another kind of earthy color that is quite used a lot in the painting of the portraits and of the flesh. So it's let's add it to these sides. So and I'm trying to make some kind of, I'll not speak too much, because when I talk I don't paint so well.
Don't worry, they were excited about the colors now, so I think they will enjoy anyway.
Yes, thank you. So with watercolors you should work methodically and quick. So don't sit and drink tea while you paint a portrait, especially. No, I should say probably enjoy, but no, just be quick, and then you can drink your tea. So I'm just trying to add some kind of softer. You can soften the areas with just a clean brush. So don't leave this very strong kind of, let's say, these kind of things, the borders. So you can always just like move with your brush some paint as well around, so it's just your brush is extension of your hands. I try to keep some highlights on this. But so if you already have some kind of highlights, you can just push this paint a bit down. If you see some strong border, you can also just like push it down. You can soften this kind of borders and you can remove some of this paint like this. So just add some water and then go again with your brush. Look at this. It's just, I'm not even mixing the colors. So these are colors from directly from the from your palette. So, and I'm mixing them more or less on the paper. Because raw sienna, burnt sienna, these are the colors of your skin. Mostly because it's you can also use amber. So it's all these colors of the earthy colors. They're very, very good for painting nature, for painting people. You know, it's really very good. Now for some of the shadows, I would use burnt umber as well. So it's just like for example, while it's still wet on wet kind of, I would use it here under the here on this around the nose. Yeah, so just look at your sketch as well, at your reference material as well. So just see where are the main kind of shadows, and here you can add this burnt umber. Of course, you shouldn't forget about reflexes, so that's why I'm going to add the color of the color of the shirt of my mom as well now. So I always recommend as well is to play with your brushes beforehand, because when you get your brushes, always do some kind of silly strokes. I don't know, just to see how they perform and how you can paint with the tip of the brush, just with the side of the brush, what it does, for example, completely vertically, completely horizontally, just like dragging it dry, I don't know, just so, because this way you'll be able to do much more kind of variety of strokes while you paint. I'm not saying that I'm so good, but it's really just like it's a life learning kind of process. You should always play with your materials, with your tools, because for the artist, your tools are extension of yourself. Yeah, so try not to cover completely these highlights, and so I'll also do some kind of now the eyes as well should get a bit of this shadow, because they're never white, you know, inside of the eyes, because they're already inside of the eyes, and the natural light always goes from the top, even in the most of the kind of places you get this light from the top, so your eyes will always be not white. So even yeah, so now let's put some kind of color to the hair as well. So I'll use brown ochre with some black lamp, and so try to see where is the highlights. So where are the highlights as well? So because the hair, it's not you shouldn't put everywhere some kind of the same tone. So just try to keep some highlighted areas untouched, and because we're going to work in layers, don't be afraid, just that it's light right now, so we'll be adding the layers. And
maybe you could put the paper a little bit down for the hair, just
Ah,
for
okay.
the top of the hair.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
perfect.
Sorry,
No, everything else was fine, but just the top.
it's
That's
good that Beatrice is checking it as well, otherwise you'll not see the hair.
No, because this time is bigger than usual.
Yeah, and
So
it's vertical,
it's vertical,
so
yeah.
it's a portrait. So also so I'm just adding a little bit of whatever I have on my brush, just to some of the darkest areas maybe. And also do a bit of. Well, I like very much our brushes because they're really very good for any kind of subject. And for portrait, I would suggest Turner collection because it has more kind of softness in it, and because you can also try to use our black tulip, but Turner will be better. It has much softer hair, and you control much more the strokes. So it will take a bit of time probably to finish it, so if we finish a bit earlier, then I will we'll post this final result later. So because with portrait you don't need to go too fast as well.
75 minutes overall, so 1 hour 15.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
So just let me know when it's too much. Also I need to go to bring the girls to swimming pool. That's why I should be careful with the time.
Lovely, this blue.
Yeah, this
Really
is
matches your.
this is turquoise, and I know exactly because my mom's one of the favorite colors is turquoise, so for me so maybe for Kazakh people because it's the color of our flag. And if you see Asian people with lots of turquoise, might be that they are Kazakh. 99%. So it's really the color of our flag. When I was traveling in the past, I was getting lots of compliments for my passport as well because it's this turquoise color. So what I'm doing, I just like try to spread my color first on this little palette before I go directly on the paper. And frankly speaking, I'm not using my paper like I was telling you that I'm going to use, because but you should use it. But for some other kind of colors that I'll introduce soon, I might use it again. But it's always very good kind of practice to test the color on this paper. So I'll try to to make this foulard with this red kind of spots as well, red designs. But so we can also add some other color just to make it more interesting, because the color of the sweater is slightly different. So I added a bit of cobalt blue, maybe a lot more cobalt blue in general, so just to make slight difference in the colors. So I hope you can see it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
can see everything.
So of course you can do several layers, and that's what the watercolor is famous for working in layers and building up the layers. For the sweater and the foulard, I wouldn't put too much attention, because in a painting there should be something that takes more kind of attention of the viewers, and it shouldn't be your foulard. So it should be a face of the person. So it's like our vision, it's more like we focus only on one kind of subject. When you look, you see things properly on of the object that you're looking at, and everything else, it's a peripheral vision, it's very much blurred. So you should also think about this when you paint. So when everything is very much kind of in focus, it's weird, you know, because it looks very strange, and you know, you get very much uncomfortable of looking at such kind of painting. And if you look at some of the best kind of examples of the modern art and of the classical art, of course, you'll see that there is a main focal point, and everything else, it's quite very much loose, you know, and you don't you should keep this kind of rule in mind as well. And it's not a rule, but it's like a common sense, and try also to do such kind of thing in your portraits, especially in any painting. That's in any painting. So let's I think I'll simplify this background, because that was the playground of in some park. So I'll just do some nice kind of background with which color, with some contrasting color maybe. So let's use ochre maybe, because this is like contrasting and quite natural. So I don't have the ochre here, but I'll use some raw sienna mixed with gamboge.
Yeah, I was seeing some orange, so
Yeah, it will be like similar to yellow ochre. Yeah, can mix it more on your little palette like this, and just go around the hair. And of course you can use a different brush, but I'm quite lazy. And really my favorite set for watercolor is journal. I'll tell you my secret. Although I love so much the black tulip as well, but it's for different kind of purposes I use. So, but anyway, my kind of preference, it's always Turner collection, because it's more traditional kind of watercolor brushes with some squirrel hair in it, and with this the same Japanese synthetic that we have in the our black tulip and fine line. So it's exactly the same synthetic, but plus 30% of squirrel. That's why it gives a bit of the softness of squirrel. So of course you should use different brushes for different purposes, but I'm a bit like that. So it's a matter of your own preference as well.
I thought you would say, I'm doing this to show that with black tulip you can achieve both things, so either very pointy and fine details, but also cover large surfaces.
This is Turner. No, really, I'm showing you with the Turner that no, with black tulip or with Turner collection, you can really achieve different results, all kind of lots of different brush strokes. Really, it's just sometimes people say, "Oh, it sheds." It doesn't shed. You know, it's just a natural hair. Your hair is also sheds. It's quite normal, and it's just a break-in process that really, at the very beginning, there might be a few floating hair that may just go out. So, for example, right now, I got one hair, so I just remove it. That's it. And it's not a shedding, it's like a normal kind of process. And you can also watch some kind of videos from famous artists. They have the same kind of thing, and it's not called shading, you know. Shading, it's when there are strays of hair just goes out. This is shading. But when just a couple of, you see, it doesn't come out anything. So it's quite normal. So sometimes the hair they break and all these kind of things, but it's not a problem. So, but it's really my favorite brush, I would say. This, especially this round number 9, because you can do really everything. And look at this. You add a bit of red, and it immediately pops out. The whole kind of painting becomes alive, because now we have all 3 primary colors in this painting. It's another kind of secret of many successful kind of painting, kind of color composition as well. That to make it more kind of harmonious, all 3 colors, all 3 primary colors should be present in one or another kind of way. So it can be just a very little bit. So usually we have a lot of blue and green as well. So green, it also can be in green. There is a lot of blue as well. So you can also see that it's just really different proportion of blue. In green, it also kind of it can be quite bluish, and this way the color palette is a bit more kind of cool, but it's really very, very nice. And so we should also use the same red and blue on the face. So for example, this raw sienna, it's already in the face, so you already used it, but and we should also add some reflexes. Yeah. So maybe here there might be little reflex from the red as well. So you might want to soften it here. So just here as well. Just a bit of, not exactly, maybe So I'm just looking at the photo and trying just to understand where it could be this kind of colors. And well, it's still not dry. I'm trying to spread them. But of course it should be also with our so the red will always be also in the ears and a bit in the nose, because these are some kind of refined kind of areas. So here you can see exactly this reflects from the red as well, and now we'll be adding blue as well, because everything that is around us, it gives the reflection to. That's why if you don't put the reflexes, then your whole kind of painting will look like it's a cutout. So
they are so fascinating. It's so fascinating, they're saying.
Thank you. So don't forget to soften here kind of the areas. Thank you for watching. It's really a pleasure to share some knowledge that I have, but I really very much proud to say that soon we'll have this kind of book from Shima as well, because it's really fantastic book. That lots of my knowledge comes from her, because I follow her for quite a long time, and she's really such an artist, you know. And she's a very good teacher. That's the most important kind of thing, because there are lots of artists so amazing, you know, the way how to paint, but they don't teach, first of all. And second, even if they want to teach, some of them they cannot teach. So that's why I'm always admire so much the teachers who can explain what they know as well in a very easy to understand form, because it's one thing to understand yourself, but it's a completely different level, you know, of understanding when you can explain it to people who don't know at all anything. So, and Shima is one of such kind of people. So you can see that now I'm just like adding some more details, and probably I should add more also in there. I don't like so much this background, but maybe I should.
I don't know, I like it.
It's too much. Yeah, I should make some kind of the corners should get darker, so that's also one of the rules of the portrait, so that it's like this chiaroscuro kind of effect when all the attention goes to the center, and the center is your eyes, for example, of your subject. And now let's put some more definition to the hair as well.
Yeah, again, lovely, lots of hearts coming through.
Thank you.
So we're really enjoying this session.
Thank you. And also it's another kind of tip from Shima that it's in the hair there will be blue, so it's because we have a lot of blue around us, so in nature especially, and this is definitely this portrait, the reference was taken outside, and so I'll be adding some ultramarine blue for sure, because especially for the black hair, so because it reflects the sky, and the sky is blue. The sky also reflects the water, you know, and the water reflects the sky, because the water is, it's also transparent. The water. So it's really amazing, you know, when you start learning more about color, I don't know, it just blows my mind, all this kind of how everything is interconnected. And
okay, so Ardak and everyone, I have to stop the Instagram live.
okay,
At this point, if you want to continue learning, there is the YouTube one, so as usual I'll put the link in the stories now. And just wait for us, because we'll be messaging you to join our waiting list for these amazing watercolors that Ardak is using. So watch out for our messages.
yeah, thank you for being here, and I really today you were very quiet actually, so hope next time you have more questions, and please come and join us. Me and Beatrice here in my studio. See you. Bye.
Bye.
So for Instagram audience, they just saw it till here, and those who are on YouTube, you'll continue to see it, how I'm progressing with my portrait of my mom. Don't be afraid, I'm adding some blue now to your hair, because there will be other layers as well to the hair, and right now I just want to give the depth, especially because she has more kind of black hair, and black hair will have some kind of blue reflex. It will give this blackness to the hair, because otherwise if you don't add black it will look too much brown, I think. And also you can keep them as, in some areas you can keep them as reflexes, or as highlights, I mean, sorry. When I paint it, I don't know what I'm saying. Even when I don't paint it, sometimes I make lots of mistakes. But it's fine. So, as I was telling you, try to use this the colors that you're using somewhere else on other areas of your portrait. So, for example, using a bit of this blue to give more kind of depth to the eyes and the eyebrows as well. So, and I'll use it also in the my mom's in the blouse as well. Not blouse, but the sweater. So you can. The watercolor really go quite slowly, and general in portrait I think the work goes slowly with layers, because there are some people who paint probably faster than me, but It's their own kind of techniques. Probably you should check it out as well. So going slowly and enjoy the process. So just really when you paint, you just look at the areas of lights and shadows and just try to show it. So I'll be adding more of the warm colors, so don't worry about this blue. Without this blue, the shadows will be brown, you know, they don't look really like shadows. So of course you don't need to paint everything with the same color, but so just add some more blue here, so the lips as well, there should be some different color of the lips. So the top lip, it's always darker because it gets the shadow from the top. Same as the bottom of the lower lip. So we have this, it's not even blue, it's more like a sort of light purple. And we should also introduce some of this the nose as well. So I'm just trying to make it a bit softer, the lines. So you can see that this burnt sienna, for example, and our previous ultramarine purple, for example, so they really combine quite well because some sort of complementary colors, so that's why they work very well together. And it's also describe quite well my mom's skin color as well. So the eyebrows, they are not just black eyebrows, but more like a shape of them. So try to also use these brush strokes just to describe the shape of the whatever you're painting. This way you also help to see these shapes. So she still looks like my mom. That's quite pleasant to understand this, to see that I didn't make it completely like an alien. But should really look at it as a very nice, interesting exercise. So don't let the brush be quite dry like what I'm doing right now. So keep it wet, and this way you keep the watercolor flow, and that's quite important. So now this area needs a bit of more attention. So as you can see, there is not so much I don't know, I cannot tell you so much here because you just need to go and add more layers and work on the whole painting methodically together. So I would see where the values, for example, are not enough. So I'm adding even some of this red in the eyes inside because they were too white for me. So you should look around as well, around the nose. Where is the lightest? Where are the darkest kind of areas? And add them. So in the neck, should add more kind of. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. How is it? How does it look? Is it good?
Yes.
It
It looks better from real life.
Huh?
It looks better the real one.
Okay. Now we'll work on the flower again. So the more you add these layers, the more kind of realistic it will start looking. But don't be discouraged at any stage, because you know sometimes there is this stage of this ugly kind of ugly stage, I would call it. So many artists, they talk about it because it's the stage when it looks very bad, you know, but actually it's just like it's just a stage that any painting goes through, and just need to go ahead because it's not finished yet. And just need to work a bit on layers especially, and so try to look at the shadows and the light. Where is the light? Where is the shadows? What is missing? So usually it's the the tone that is missing. For example, for me, it's quite often. And to add the shadows, for example, on your on some color, you don't need to add black, for example. So you add the opposite color, complementary color. This way it will darken, but also will give some kind of depth. So it will be much better than adding the black. So probably add a bit of, as I was saying, just adding some burnt sienna into the turquoise, and look at this, how immediately it darkens, but because it's not black, and it gives this kind of nice shadow, you know. So okay, so we should also work on the hair, but because I decided to keep the foulard on, so I should work a little bit on the foulard as well. And you can see that the neck should be much darker as well. That's why I'll be adding a bit more. I'll add more kind of the blue as well, blue reflexes on the underneath, because here, for example, there is even more kind of this. So I don't need to work too much dry like me, but just trying to be cautious. So here, let's add a bit of sienna again. So the hair also casts a shadow. Okay. Yeah. That's why don't forget the shadow on the face as well from the hair. So you might not notice it when you do it first, but the more you observe this kind of things, you'll see that there are a lot of shadows in general. And with watercolors, you paint the shadows. You try to keep the light areas light, and you paint the shadows all the time. So let's do some kind of hair again. I'll add probably this quinacridone violet as well, because I don't want to put black so much, because it's not my favorite color. Yeah, no, I'm a bit cautious, because I don't want to. So I'm using this quinacridone with, I don't know, what was it? So here you would need, for example, so I'll just clean my brush on the hair. That's what I'm doing right now. And here you would need to remove a little bit this. So you just push it back, that's it. So you didn't do so much You can also, of course, you can use this paper that I prepared, and I don't use it, but so you can do this as well. Now it's completely clean, you see. But sometimes you can also just push the paint inside, for example. That's it with this brush. I want to also try once to paint everything without using any black, just trying to use some kind of chromatic alternatives, and you'll see that with this kind of limited palettes you can also do lots of stuff. So purple, it's also quite useful for painting the portraits, really. So this our Allegro is very good for such kind of topics from nature that needs a lot of this warm kind of colors, and first of all it's a portrait. So here I'll also add a little bit of this purple. So So what? Do people say something or
not now?
What they...
Not now on the YouTube.
Or they're bored completely? Oh, it's interesting. I don't know.
It's interesting.
I'm just curious.
You can let us know, guys.
Yeah, so this purple together with this burnt sienna, it's really great for some of the shadows, because it's really gives some cool kind of colors. I don't know. Don't let it dry, this stuff like this. Just try to spread it, to move it.
It's much deeper in real life than in the video.
Oh yeah, because video cannot, the camera cannot just but it will also change, because right now it's one colors and it will dry as different colors as well. The paper also will absorb, and paying too much attention to this nose, and I'm afraid that I'll do something to it. Because that's what happens when you stop too much on one part of the painting and start overworking, usually. So inner side of the inner corner of the eyes, it's always almost like pinkish, you know, just like very. Just don't be afraid to add colors, because we're not brownish colors. We have a lot of red in our skin. It's only so this hemoglobin gives this kind of glow, and it really comes from these red cells. I think now I just need to darken the eyes, the hair, the background, because the face more or less is quite good. I'm quite pleased already. Need to add more kind of stronger colors now. So I'm going to use a bit of this viridian green together with quinacridone violet. So just and this way I'm mixing sort of black. See, it's quite rich and deep, and just and, I think soon I'll stop because I need to go to bring the girls to the swimming pool, but let's I can continue maybe on YouTube later at night and I'll make it as a live, so Beatrice will show me how to do it, and just to show you how to finish it.
Yeah, we'll have different audience that time, so
You will have more, American audience.
Yeah.
Because I really want to finish it, but I don't want to lose it as well for the viewers maybe. So you can see that with just one brush you can really do.
Yeah, this is what
even
I was
this
thinking. It's amazing.
Details, because look at this how well it keeps the point. Not showing off, but it's reality. So this is too strong probably, this stuff. So I'll just push it back with my brush and just get into the shadow. That's it. So, and this way, if you don't want this kind of too strong, this shadow, you dilute it and just push it into the hair. That's it. So otherwise it looks a bit too much, too dirty, I would say. This is too black kind of, so let's add a bit of so I forgot to add a bit of this blue kind of so we add them here, this reflexes. And here. see that at the end it will look quite nice. So don't be afraid of the reflexes. So just should really they should look. You should see them on the portrait really, because don't need this effect of cutout. So if you want some kind of highlight, you can also add the highlight like this. So I added a bit of water and just trying to remove. I don't know, didn't work. But anyway, I can add a little bit of kind of shadow here, and it will become a highlight as well. So let's. I think I should go now. I'll add this hair and the background a bit later, but right now I'm just want to show you.
I think there are no questions at this stage because we are really learning a lot and observing.
Yeah, there will be more kind of similarity once I add more kind of dark colors, because right now it's really. But don't forget to leave this highlights as also. Don't make this black kind of too much black either. So I'm adding more kind of highlights and still working with these transparent layers. So watercolor should be always transparent. It's the most important kind of thing. Yep. It already looks better because the hair gets more kind of this skull, and this I'll be using for the eyes. I'll be using a fine line, so you'll see more kind of detailed lines as well, because you shouldn't really use the same brush for everything.
Look at that. The tip of using blue for the hair is mind-blowing, but really works. Wow.
Yeah, because we get these highlights of different color, and usually the dark hair, the black hair especially, it gets blue kind of. There are more kind of brown hair, it will get more kind of like a lighter, maybe hazel, maybe some kind of golden, even amber, but really shouldn't be. Should add a bit of color. So even like this, it already looks quite nice. Look at this. So I'm going to leave you now, guys, and see you soon, because I want to finish it tonight. So I'll add more kind of shadows, and I'll work on the background and on the hair and on everything. So basically, because right now it's like maybe middle of the process. So I don't know. Can you see it? I don't know.
Yeah, we could see the full.
Doesn't look so bad, I think.
No, it does not at all.
To look much better with a good kind of background and yeah, with a good fuller and everything else. Okay, thank you for being with us, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.